Is this something you think is going to be mandatory, or are you going to be able to stand against it?
It's how radicalized to the left their children, the indoctrination, the brainwashing is.
And it's criminal. They're facing criminal charges,
Right.
Brad.
It's dealing with, kids getting the jab or being told they have to have the jab in order to go back to school. That's a major challenge, though, for parents to protect their children from an experimental jab, if you will. And then we have
Brad,
else.
I want to interrupt you, but let's stop on that. Is this something you think is going to be mandatory, or are you going to be able to stand against it and against any kind of laws they try to pass to make it mandatory? What say you on that?
Basically, I do think school districts are going to mandate it, particularly in blue states, dark blue cities and blue states, if you will. However, if they do, their parents do have some defenses, and we talk about those. One is a religious objection. Another one is a medical objection under the Americans with Disabilities Act, not the state exemption, but the federal exemption, which actually has more teeth to it. And then you even have the other defense of the child having the antibodies already. The majority of kids that have been exposed to this virus, they don't even know it, and they have the antibodies, and that's a whole nother defense. For kids going to college, I give counsel to a mother dealing with a kid being required to have the jab at a private college, and we gave counsel on that as well. So that's very important. Parents need to know their rights.
Okay, great. You were going to the next point before I interrupted you.
Oh, yeah. And this is really important because public schools have been a huge disappointment for parents. The radical sexuality material that's coming in with the CRT, critical race theory, parents are just dumbfounded with how not just leaning to the left, it's how radicalized to the left their children, the indoctrination, the brainwashing is quickly spreading.
Brad, during the regime of Hitler, the clergy was concerned about what he was doing, massacring millions of Jews, I guess. But they were concerned about the soul of Germany. And Hitler, according to this article, said, "Don't you worry about the soul of Germany. I'll take care of the soul of Germany." Brad, right now I'm hearing the big boys, the deep state, saying, "Don't worry about the soul of America or the world. We'll take care of the soul of the world, of America." We should be very concerned about that, right?
Oh, we definitely should. Some people ask about how involved churches should be, what limitations and restrictions should be placed upon the church. And we should learn from history that that's a very dangerous position to put restrictions and limitations on the speech of the church, because really what they're talking about is putting restrictions upon the conscience of the nation. We need there to be that protection with regards to religious institutions and ministries to be able to proclaim their heart, their convictions, the truth, and to do so without fear of being arrested or prosecuted. Do you know right now we at PJI, 30% of our cases, about 30% of our cases are criminal defense cases. And and those are defending people who have something in common. They're all in ministry, and they're all doing the same thing. They're being prosecuted for evangelizing, proclaiming the gospel in public places that they're protected by the First Amendment to do.
And it's criminal. They're facing criminal charges, Brad, right?
Right. And we just had a victory out of Miami. I've had a case out of San Antonio, Texas, El Paso, Dallas. We've had them in Maryland, Michigan, all over the country because of a growing hostility, particularly in blue cities, with politicians who dominate the police force and pressure them to silence Christians and people of faith. So that's what we do. And that's 30% of our cases now. I never thought I'd ever say that. Criminal defense cases?
Right.
That's what we're having to do here in the United States. And we at Pacific Justice Institute are leading the nation in those criminal defense protections for people in ministry.
These are the front linemen I was talking about earlier. Remember in the Patriot where they were battling each other, and the guys at the front lines, the ones that got shot first, the guys in the blue states, and they're preaching the gospel, they know what they're up against, right? I mean, they could
Yes.
very easily move to a state like Texas or Tennessee, but they're there carrying forth the gospel where God has told them to do it. These are front linemen.
In these last days, there will be perilous times. People will worship false gods, lying signs and wonders. Bibles will be taken out of schools. As the Antichrist arises, Christians will be persecuted. But now, God's people have awakened. David Heavener Investigates is proud to bring you End Times Investigations, a new DVD series containing over 8 hours of interviews, commentaries, and teaching on Illuminati and the New World Order, Satanism, miracles and healings, the Antichrist, and one world religion. David interviews some of the top experts in their field.
Hi, I'm David Heavener, and I'm proud to bring you this brand new DVD collection, End Times Investigations.
David reveals how the media is working hand in hand with the Antichrist system. Order now and receive this special DVD collection. Equip yourself and your family. Text BONUS to 41444 or davidheavener.tv/order. Call toll-free 844-806-0006. Text BONUS to 41444 or davidheavener.tv/order. Call toll-free 844-806-0006.